Hey there, content heroes. I'm back, Josiah here for another live stream today. And I want to talk about the easiest way to break your business. So, if you listen to this week's episode with Parker Stevenson on the Content Heroes podcast, you probably heard a little bit of my journey, right? I was in a job that it wasn't working out for me. And I decided that I was just going to leave. I didn't have a plan for what I was going to do next. I just knew I had to make a change before I talked myself out of it. And had about 2 months of runway, my personal finances, and had no idea what I was going to do, but I knew I needed to figure it out. And so for me, that was the right decision at the time because I needed to cut that safety net, and I needed to put myself in a position that forced myself to take action, that forced myself to commit 100% to becoming an entrepreneur and building a business. And so but I essentially just like jumped into it head first, and I didn't have a plan, especially when it came to taking the finances seriously. And I definitely made some mistakes, especially early on in my business, and it 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 they were costly mistakes, right? So the easiest way you can break your business is to not take your finances seriously, not take the financial piece of it seriously. And that's why I brought Parker on to the podcast this week, because for online content creators, we are very creative. We love the output and putting things out there, right? And the connecting with the audience and creating value. But if you're like me, I'm not naturally the type of person who enjoys dealing with the financial piece of the business, right? That's not something that comes naturally to me, and it's not my strong suit. And so, and that's why it's so important to bring people into your business who can help fill those gaps for you. And so the reason I brought Parker onto the podcast this week is because I want us all to be on the same page about that, right? We need to take our finances seriously and leverage the help of people who know how to do that, especially if you're like me and it's not your strong suit. So I just wanted to share some key takeaways I had from the episode this week. And the first big one was what Parker said was probably the biggest pitfall is when you especially when you're starting out your business, not having your personal finances in order. And we tend to think of our personal finances and our business finances as completely separate. But if you're in a place where your personal finances are a mess, it's going to be difficult to be able to invest in your business the way that you need to in order to grow your business. And so make sure your personal finances are in order. We go into that in this week's episode. Another one was we really dug into how much what metrics to look at, and really getting clear about like how much does the business actually make to support me, and knowing those numbers so that you can really see where you are and where you need to invest, where you need to pull back. What's the bare minimum I need to get by, right? And starting there and building on that. And then the last thing is really figuring out where what you should be setting aside in case things go awry, like a global pandemic. So we really talk through those. We get clear about what those numbers are, what those percentages are, what they might look like depending on the type of business that you have, and that way you can weigh that against what your revenue goals are and your income goals for the business. And so those are my big key takeaways, and why this episode is so important to building a business and being a business owner, because if you neglect the financial piece of it, it will break your business one way or another. So take it seriously. You're going to hear me say this probably a lot, but that's okay. what is it? Repetition is the mother of all learning, right? So take your financials seriously. And if you're serious about becoming a real business leader, if you're serious about it not just being a hobby, but growing a business. So that said, I also, you've heard me announce a little earlier this week, I'm super excited, launching a mastermind for business leaders who want to solidify authority in their niche with content. So join the wait list, be the first to be informed when the doors open on that. It'll be in the coming weeks. I'm not revealing the date yet, leaving a little bit of suspense for you guys out there. But definitely join the wait list. It's contentheroes.com/fuel to learn more and to sign up. And until next time, go be a hero, everyone.